Hello and welcome to the Stateside Soccer Show. My name is Jordan. With me today is Logan. How are you, Logan?
Dude, another year in the books. We've done it again. We have finished another MLS season and we have a new champion, Jordan. I can't believe Orlando's no, that's not right. I can't believe that
Wrong
Philadelphia, no,
Florida
that's
team.
not right either. Yeah, Jordan, I'm excited as can be for this episode. I'm sure everyone is thrilled with the outcome that was MLS Cup. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, MLS Cup 2025. Inter Miami are champions for the first time ever. They faced Vancouver Whitecaps and they beat them 3-1 in front of the last game that is going to be played at Chase Stadium. So that was on December 6th. And it looks like the new stadium is going to be opening up in early April. So I guess they'll be on the road before that. But anyway, Messi, of course, gets MLS Cup MVP to go along with his normal MVP. But we had an own goal 8 minutes into the match by Ocampo on Vancouver that made it a bit of a hill for the Vancouver Whitecaps to get out of, which they did bury themselves in, and they dug themselves out of it in the 60th minute with a goal from Ahmed. But then DePaul in the 71st with an assist by Messi, and Allende in the 90+6 with an assist by Messi wrapped up Miami's first ever MLS Cup championship. A bit of a rocky game for Miami because for a while there, Vancouver was piling it on, and if it wasn't for like a triple post, could have had the lead.
Yeah, I think everybody agreed. I mean, I was watching all sorts of wrap up on this. Obviously, after watching the game, I watched some of the MLS stuff. I watched a video today from ESPN with Hercules Gomez, and I watched some podcast from other sources. And Jordan, everybody had the same thought that we did. It felt like Vancouver actually played the better game for most of this game. It was a rocky start. I think you could tell there was a little bit of an adjustment for the Vancouver Whitecaps. But if a couple other players show up for the Whitecaps, I think that this is a different story that we might be telling. I think the score makes it look a little bit further away than it was for Vancouver. I think.
Yeah, they always do that. I'll tell you, they always do this because it made me think of the Orlando game against them, where Orlando, it felt like they were going to win, and then it was like a tie game, and then it was like Miami scored like two goals to make it like 3-1, 4-1 or whatever, and you're like, all right, two of those things were after the 90th minute or whatever, right? But it just happens to they happen to do that. Once they get like, they never stop pushing, they never stop trying to just kind of bury it.
Yeah, I think it's the pressure that the Whitecaps try to put on Miami to try to get the ball back. And once you do that, Jordan, you kind of come up out of your style. You get out of place defensively. And that's what happened. Like the two passes, one by Jordi Alba at the end of the game to Messi. Then Messi made a hell of a pass ahead to Hyundai. And it was just guys being out of place because it's the end of the game. They're pressing. They're trying to get the ball back. They need shots on goal. But at the end, like you said, like in Miami fashion, you are right. Like that would be interesting to go back. I know there's probably stats out there of like, I wonder how many goals Inter Miami has after the 75th minute.
Or even after
Feels
the
like a lot.
80th. Yeah, after the 75th. I thought you meant after the like in stoppage. But no, like anytime after the 75th minute, I feel like it's tough. Like they sometimes go and score like a bunch of goals at the end, and you're like, that game was close, but it doesn't look close now.
Right. That's the Messi thing too. Like I feel like once he gets to a certain point, it's like, you've unlocked the magician. Like,
yeah.
This isn't gonna go well. And then once it starts to cave in, it caves in soccer. It's kind of like, I mean, it is pretty similar to like hockey or baseball. Once the walls start coming in on you, you're like, and things start to happen. But Jordan, on rankings, like, how did you feel that this was for MLS Cup? Like, was this one you remember, or one you're kind of like, okay, like, it was good MLS Cup?
I think I'll always remember the result
Yeah.
Because there's some years where you're like, who won that one?
Yeah.
I'll always remember this one because it is a big achievement for this franchise or this club of Miami. Since they brought in Messi in 2023, the ultimate end goal has always been to win MLS Cup, and they won the League
Mhm.
Cup in 2023. In 2024, they win a Supporter Shield. And this year, they kind of finished those big three, I would say, of the domestic cups and put away MLS Cup. But game wise, it was fine. I don't know, like maybe like a mid table ranking. Like it also flew by.
It was quick.
Big
Yes.
team that I'm watching, like like David and I are sitting there talking, and it's like, wow, it's already the 30th minute.
Yeah.
This game is flying by. Then you're like, oh my god, it's already the 80th minute. Like, what is going on? And I think maybe it would be looked at a little bit more favorably if it didn't start with an own goal, or if once Vancouver tied it, that tie lasted longer than 11
Yeah.
minutes.
That's a good point.
Then once it kind of got scored in what goal was that, the 70 something minute, I said
Yeah.
we won. It kind of felt like it was too late for Vancouver because
Yep.
what happens is, right, Vancouver was just pelting them before half.
It was crazy.
And you're like, what I kept saying is, you want to score before half because you're going to have a break here. And
Yeah.
that break came good for Miami because then it
Yep.
allowed them to kind of reset. And what happened is it took Vancouver a little bit more to get ramped up again. And then they eventually did get ramped up and scored. But at that point, once they did that, it almost felt like it was too late in the 60th minute.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're like, there's plenty of time. Even in the 71st, you're like, there's plenty of time technically, but it just never felt like it was really going to happen after the 71st minute goal.
That's a great way to explain it. Like that was like head on. I feel like it was. It was, I mean, I really thought, I was like, dang, like Vancouver is going to equalize before half, maybe even a second goal,
Yeah.
because they just kept putting balls on goal. And I'm talking like the
Oh,
goaltender.
Mueller had some great balls that he like laid
Yes.
off people that he headed and all this kind of stuff. Like it was, they looked dangerous up there. They
Yes.
just
And
couldn't get it into the back of the net.
there were times where Rios went totally like emergency goalkeeper, where he just like sat and was like, "Uh-oh, like
Yeah.
this is on top of me now." I think if Sebastian Berhalter has a better game, like the guy's a set piece magician. He had one set piece, Jordan, that I think was kind of a mistake, where I was like, "Dang, that was a really good set piece," but I don't think he did that on purpose. Where it kind of missed one of the defenders and it went in, and somebody, I forget who it was, it might have been Mueller actually, who got real low and kind of headed it. And it was like, man, if he'd have got any kind of juice on that, that probably would have gone in. But there were so many times, Jordan, I was just like, this Vancouver team is of quality with Inter Miami. Like
Yeah.
this Vancouver team, Jordan, Mueller's coming back. He said it already. And he said
Berhalter
it
will
in
be
the
back, right?
right. And he said it in the post game. He said, we were the better team. Mueller's like, I feel like we were the better team today, and we just didn't win. I think, Jordan, if this is in Vancouver, I think we might be talking about the Whitecaps, because
I
they
agree.
really were neck and neck. And I didn't think, Jordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I didn't think there was another team that was comparable. I just thought Inter Miami was just, once they got to a level, it was just not, you couldn't beat them. And Vancouver didn't beat them, Jordan, but I felt like they very well could have, if they would have equalized before half.
And here's what the difference was: 2 points, right? 63 points for Vancouver, 65 for Miami.
Yeah.
If one other game goes Vancouver's
Yeah.
way, they're hosting. And that's why it is
Yeah.
a little frustrating when people say, it's early, these games don't matter. Or when we hit that middle of the season and you're like, the games don't matter. But here's the thing, they do, because they can, just like they did for the Union in 2022 and it was hosted in LA, it mattered. And I think this is actually a big reason why the calendar switch will be better for us as well, is because we were losing, and by we, I mean MLS teams as a whole. We're losing core players to the international windows and games were still going on, if these teams had their international players during those international windows, any of these teams could have had more points, which could have affected who hosted. It could have stayed as Miami. It could have went to Vancouver. It could have been other teams if those teams made it. But I do think us playing important games during international windows and losing our biggest impact players during those times was not good for the league. So now going to that new calendar in 2027, I think it will be better, and you're not playing those important games, missing key pieces that could affect who hosts an MLS Cup. So, it is important on who hosts this game because, like you said, if it was in Vancouver, I think Vancouver wins this. It was in Miami, and guess what? Miami won it, even after weathering some big storms from the Whitecaps. Speaking of in Vancouver, there are some, concerns about them staying in Vancouver. So we'll be keeping eyes on that with their stadium stuff, but hopefully that gets sorted out and, this team doesn't move in the foreseeable future because that'd be a huge bummer. But, just kind of a really bummer game for the Whitecaps because you feel like you've done everything except put the ball in the back of the net, and then they got at the end of it, and Messi, who was, I wouldn't say largely ineffective, but until that 71st minute, wasn't really, they had some chances on goal in Miami and stuff, but like that 71st minute goal was a great assist by Messi, and the Allende goal was a great assist by Messi too. I forget which one it was. Maybe it was the Paul goal, but there was the one where Messi gets this ball to him and
from
he
Alba. Yep.
Chests
it was the last one.
It was
yes.
it? Yeah, he chests it and then kicks it over without it even touching the ground. It was just a fantastic ball.
Yeah, because somebody or Hercules Gomez said this was the last thing that Jordi Alba's did on a soccer pitch.
Oh, there you
which
go.
Was
It's
cool.
his last pass to Messi. Yes, I saw
and
that
it was
too.
That pass right to Messi that was an unbelievable touch off of the chest. Jordan, I saw this too. Vancouver did this without arguably their 1B player in Gould.
Yeah,
and I was like, like the fact that Vancouver, Jordan, and there was a moment in the season where we're like, oh, there goes Vancouver again. Right. It was like, oh man, there goes Vancouver again because Ryan Gould gets hurt and that is their best player because Thomas Mueller was not around. And you talk about it, Jordan, 2 points separated them at the end of the year. If this team, and there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, right? But if this team has Thomas Mueller all season or Ryan Gould all season, who knows, right? So I think Vancouver will be back.
They put him in for the goal scorer, Ali Ahmed.
Yeah.
But from what they said on the broadcast, it was originally supposed to be Mueller coming out. And then he said he's good to go, and they took out Ahmed instead, which I thought was interesting because I feel like you'd want Mueller in case if it got the penalties for him to take a good penalty. So taking him out of the 60th minute, I felt like would have been crazy. But unfortunately, did not pan out. But here is some fun facts, right? We have our first ever MLS Cup winners that are also World Cup winners. We've got Messi.
That's fun.
We've got Jordi Alba. Right? Maybe not Alba, actually. Hold on. Busquets definitely on Spain.
Yeah.
Alba, I don't think was on the 2010 team. But definitely Busquets. Definitely Messi. And I guess Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah. You probably don't know this off the top of your head. First Champions League World Cup winner? Or MLS Cup winner?
Champions League. No.
Really?
Well, winner, Beckham, maybe. Oh yeah, Beckham. Beckham won one, right?
He had to have, right?
He was on the United teams.
I was going to say with those United teams, but also like that's wild, that World Cup. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's fun. It probably it would have been
We
both
would have
ways.
had it anyway.
Yeah, Mueller. Yeah,
would have
right.
won. Yeah. But we have multiple
That's cool.
on Miami.
Yeah, that's cool.
We also have that Miami is the 16th MLS team to win the championship. So 16 different out of the 30 have won. Do we have 30 yet? We have
yes, San Diego's the 30th. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. But also there are 33 different clubs that have completed in the league at one time, because we've had teams that have folded. Chivas and the Tampa Bay Mutiny and Miami Fusion. But none of those won.
You know who else folded?
Who
DC
else?
United. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they act like it.
They're acting like they're folding. They're currently folding.
There have been, of course, a couple Supporter Shield winner teams that have never won an MLS Cup as well. 17 teams have won Supporter Shield, by the way. But yeah, so that's a fun little stat. The past 5 Cups have had 5 different winners. We had Miami, we have Galaxy, we had Crew. 2022 was LAFC, and then we had 2021 was NYCFC. So 5 different teams in the last 5 years. Talking about parity there. Messi was named MLS Cup Most Valuable Player, and he also won. Here's the controversy part that David and I were talking about, because the broadcast said this is his 47th trophy. Everywhere online said 48. And do you know what they were counting that MLS was not counting? I want to get your perspective on if this counts or not. Okay.
So what? MLS is counting, but nobody else is counting?
No. All the Twitter fans and stands of Messi online kept saying 48. MLS and I guess officially everybody else keeps saying 47. And they're saying it comes from Miami, this other trophy. They say he's won 4 trophies in Miami. Now, we know Supporter Shield, Leagues Cup, MLS Cup. What do you think they are counting? And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
They didn't win US Open Cup, did they?
No, they did not.
What else would they have won?
They're counting the Eastern Conference title from getting to MLS Cup. How they won the Eastern Conference final.
Yeah.
They're counting that as
you win a trophy. I mean, you do win a trophy.
You do. You do win a trophy. Now, does that count?
I would say no, because like any other sport, I don't ever think they count.
It's not an actual trophy. It's the
right. It's
right.
Yes, you get a trophy, but it's basically like, good job, buddy. Here's a check mark. Like,
because in the NFL they do it right. They have the NFL. They have the
banners,
AFC champ,
right?
The NFC championship.
They do. They have banners. They have trophies that go in a
That's
trophy case.
I'll say it's a little different for football. I say because the NFL and AFL, the NFC and AFC started as different leagues. They were the AFL and NFL before they merged. And the Super Bowl was the battle between those two leagues. So I do think that one stands a little bit more, but I don't know. I find it curious. I find it really curious. Let us know in the comments if you count this as a trophy or not, and if he has 48 or 47.
Nobody is ever saying, "Oh, you know how many AFC championships Tom Brady's won?" It's like, no, nobody cares about that.
But if you play, this is gonna sound silly, but if you play the Be a Pro or the career mode on Madden franchise, and you are a player, it keeps track of that for your Hall of Fame score.
That's so stupid.
It'll track how many Super Bowls and how many AFC or NFC titles you've won.
You know, now that I think about it, though,
MVPs.
like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I was about to say, like, now that I think about it, it almost makes sense for NFL because, like,
that's what
you go to a neutral site to play the Super Bowl. I always thought that was
Right,
weird.
right, right,
Like,
right.
I always thought that was weird. Like, I get it, but I always think it's weird because, like, it's almost like an exhibition at that point. It's just of the highest stakes. Like, it's a really weird concept because it's at a and people are like, well, what does that make a difference? I'm like, I don't know. It just feels. I've always felt that it's the Super Bowl feels kind of underwhelming in the fact that like the best team doesn't get their big time home supporters there
Well, it's
because
filled
you're
with
having
not
rich people show up.
it's
Like,
not exactly, it's not filled with fans. It's filled
yeah,
with
it's
the
filled with
corporate sponsors and
you're right. It
people
doesn't
that can
feel
afford,
real.
like, $100,000 tickets.
Right. Whereas a NBA title game, game 7 in Oklahoma City, that felt that felt like you were going into the doghouse. And if you stun 40,000, Jordan, that's a lot of fun. But like if the Cheez-Its people are sending people that are Kansas City
Yeah,
fans
yeah.
because Taylor Swift's, boyfriend plays for him or whatever. Like I just yeah, like
What a
I've
sentence.
never liked
Cheez-It
that.
people are sending Kansas
Yeah, we
City
don't
Chiefs
know.
fans
I'm making this
because
up. Yeah, I'm
her
making this up.
boyfriend plays for.
Yeah. It just but MLS doesn't no other sport does this. No other sport plays on a neutral site for their big game. It's
Well,
stupid.
to be fair, the other sports have more than one game. I think they like. I think if it was one game, MLB and NBA and NHL would play it on a neutral site.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think they would,
Yeah, you're right.
but MLS used to do that, and people didn't go to those games because they were not
Nobody cared
teams
about
from around
MLS.
them. Nobody cared about them.
Yeah.
We'll see if they switch that at some point. But I want to point out that if you go to the Wikipedia pages for, like, let's say DC United, and you think back to happier times, okay? You go down to their honors section, which keeps track of their titles. They do put Eastern Conference there. They do.
This
They've
is a
won
great
5.
debate. Like
They've
this
won
is a
5
really
Eastern
good
Conference
debate.
titles.
Like this is like the participation trophy of trophies. Like I think all the playoff teams should get it.
The reason why it doesn't feel as like, and look, I don't count that as a union one typically. So let's ask me,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I wore the Eastern Conference champs stuff.
I have one
I
too.
have it,
I have one too.
but I do not. When I think of it, I think they've won 2 supporter shields
Mhm.
and nothing else. I don't think like, oh, we
Yeah.
won that Eastern Conference trophy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really count that. But people are, and I think part of it is that the Messi fans who don't follow the league are just thinking
More
probably
trophies.
see it pop up in his thing and say,
Mhm.
"Oh, he won that at Miami." Like, they're probably not thinking about what it actually is. But
Oh,
yeah,
give the playoff system of any sport to those in the UK. They're like, "You do what? What do you mean? You don't
why not just
win?"
play each other, everybody twice,
Right.
and then
And then
figure
whoever
it
has
out?
the most wins wins. It's like, yeah, but that's not fun. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I
Well,
will
yeah,
say,
let us know in the comments
yeah,
because I
it's
think
a fun one.
that's a fun one. Does he have 47 or 48? And would you count it if your team wins one of those Eastern or Western Conference
And
championships?
how about this? Adding on to that, actually, I'm in agreement almost in this, Jordan. If your team wins the Eastern Conference final and then wins MLS Cup final, then you can count it. If
So
your team
Messi, yeah.
loses, it's null and void because you just lost the final.
I think it's the other way.
You like it to where like you think the Western Conference final trophy should be above MLS Cup?
Not that it's above it, but you're like, we did win something. We won the Eastern
Yeah,
Conference
tell the
championship. All
two
right.
people. Yeah. Like Vancouver should go back home and have a parade for the Western
We're
Conference
the
trophy.
only Western Conference champs of 2025. We beat all the other Western
Yeah,
Conference
take
teams.
that Western Conference. That's
Yeah.
funny. That is a good question though. That's funny. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Okay. So Messi also set a record for most combined goals and assists in playoff history with 15, 6 and 9, 6 goals, 9 assists. Beckham became the first person to win MLS Cup as a player and as an owner. And Allende's goal in stoppage time was his 9th in the playoffs, and he set a new league record due to that. I put an asterisk because they had 3 games in the best of 3.
Yeah.
If it
Plus
was
their
one,
record of most goals by a team ever in MLS
oh,
playoffs.
there you go. They didn't
But
say that
again,
on this.
it does have the asterisks of you got
Having
2
extra
more
games.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Messi is now the first MLS player to win back-to-back MLS MVPs. So we talked about that at the end of the season because we thought that was what was going to happen, and it did. So he won. He is the champion of MLS with MLS MVP, which we picked.
Such a sick photo with that.
Good
with
job.
the force. Do we rename the trophy the Lionel Messi Landon Donovan trophy?
I think if they hadn't already named it, they
Yeah.
would name it after him.
Yeah, I do too. Does the MLS playoff MVP trophy have a name?
It doesn't say so. So
Could we
maybe
name it the Lionel Messi trophy?
maybe I don't know.
Can we?
I didn't even
Can you and I
realize.
get a trophy for Lionel Messi?
I
That
didn't
just
even.
says
I kind of thought this was like the FIFA Peace Prize here because I didn't remember them doing an MLS Cup MVP before.
they're like, you gotta get this guy something. He's pretty good. Best player in the world. You guys didn't get him a trophy, and they're like, no, were we supposed to? And then they like ran to like Dick's Sporting Goods and got like a
Yeah,
trophy, and they're like,
yeah.
oh shoot, we gotta put
It's
a
like a
name
little
plaque on
kid
it.
kicking a ball or whatever on the top.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering. I was wondering if they were. I don't know. Do we know who won it last year?
No. I
Oh, that's right. Okay, they did have it. Brugman, Gaston Brugman for LA Galaxy was the MVP that game.
I just don't remember ever
How long
talking
have they
about
been
this.
doing this? Have they been doing it the whole time? Because it
I
doesn't
imagine
feel
they
like
have
we
to. Like
ever
this
talk
seems.
about it.
I don't think we ever do because I don't remember that. Like,
Oh, they've
I
done it
just.
the whole time. Here we go.
I was gonna say that I would feel most finals do. Gareth Bale, is he mentioned?
No, that was John McCarthy, baby, former Union
Oh, that's
player who
right.
broke
See,
our
now I
heart.
do remember that. I actually do remember that.
Yeah, now I'm starting to remember it. I kind of forgot that was a thing, I guess, because I
We did
was
not talk
like,
about last year because we didn't know Gaston Brugman very well.
but I think I remember them talking about it on the broadcast. But I didn't know if they were actually giving it to him or if they were just saying like he would be the MVP of it. Like,
No, I don't
I
even
guess
think we've
that's
had an official announcement. I think they just gave Messi every award. I think MLS had
I
voided
mean,
it.
they
They're
interviewed
like,
him after the game with the trophy of it. Yeah,
they're like, don't tell anybody, Lionel, but we gave you every trophy.
I actually
You're
watched.
defenseman of the year too.
I actually watched the whole like hour post game of it,
I did too. Yeah, it was good.
which is the first time ever, I think. But
Yeah. Lionel Messi did an interview in English. That was wild. Did you see that? And on the ESPN channel. I was like,
no, I did not.
and supposedly, Jordan, he learned English insults this year.
Oh, I mean, you
That's
learn
funny.
that all the time.
I
Now
was gonna say,
remember,
just ask Suarez for some insults. I'm sure he'll give you ones that get you kicked out of the league.
now I think remember we talked about this. There's only been oh, this is the MLS Cup most valuable player. When we're talking about the normal MVP, there had only been, I think, one player who had ever won MLS MVP twice. So it wasn't a big stretch that had never been done before. Mike Preki is the one that had won it twice. So while it has never been done before that it was back to back, it had also only been done once that it was ever somebody winning it more than once. So to answer your question about if you name the trophy after it, I mean, here's the funny thing: Landon Donovan never has only won it once as well, back in 2009. Right, so they
Sounds like we
probably
need to rename it.
would have named it after Messi after this, maybe if not. But remember, I also point this out that before we never had 3 in a row be the same nationality. Now we do, because it was Luciano Costa and then Messi and Messi. So 3 Argentines have won it back to back to back. The closest we got to that was Wondolowski and Mike McGee back in 2012, 2013, and Kreis and Miola in 99 and 2000. When there was 2 Americans winning it back to back, but we had never had 3 Americans win it back to back.
It's it like this is crazy thoughts, but like it just still bums me every time you mention Argentines. My favorite Argentine, my favorite soccer player ever to ever play. He would have played in this league, like Sergio Aguero.
Oh, I was trying to
Played in
figure
this
out who
league.
you were talking about. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're right.
Sergio would have played in this
Sergio.
league, like 100% would have played. That sucks because like
Yeah.
but I just thought about that. Sergio's. I don't know if Aguero's ever been to Inter Miami game. Has he? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I feel like he would have. Like they were really good friends.
Yeah, fake fan. He's not.
Honestly, what a jerk.
Why is he not showing up?
He is a big Dallas Cowboys fan, so he's probably an FC Dallas fan. He's like,
yeah. F Messi, what are you doing here?
You should have gone to Dallas, man. What are you doing?
All right, let's quickly recap what we got right this year, because there's a few things. We talked about it. MVP, Messi, we both picked him, so we each get a point for that. Logan, you had Miami winning MLS Cup at the beginning of the season. A lot of people thought their year was last year and not going to be this year, and you picked them this year, so there you go.
Just tune back in February, and I'll tell you who wins the next one.
Nice. Wooden Spoon. Nailed it. We both said
Got it.
And then Golden Boot winner, we both had Messi. Nailed it.
We are so good at what we do.
Maybe if I have time in the next week or so, I'll go through our Western and Eastern Conference positions and really tally up how many points we all got and see what we got right. I think I do. Okay. Anything else about this game? Did we not talk about?
I think just the fact that, man, Alba and Busquets, guys that we grew up Jordan watching. It's crazy to think that we are now in leagues where guys we grew up watching are literally retiring. Guys we literally are the same age as retiring. It's just we knew we'd get here one day, and I'm sure that a lot of fans listening, I know because I look at the Spotify like demographics, and a lot of them are our age. A lot of you listeners, there's guys your age that you grew up watching or grew up watching. I mean, little Lionel Messi over in Barcelona as an academy player. His day's coming. And so like you're starting to see all these players exit their sports. And Sergio Busquets, Jordan, and Jordi Alba.
Guys, the thing is, we're not their age yet.
Right.
They're 37 and 36, so I feel a little better. I had to double check that after you said that.
I was gonna say they're a little older, but I'm talking like guys like it's strange as guys are that we grew up literally playing video games and trying to dismantle Barcelona, Real Madrid, and all these guys that have played at Bayern Munich, and it's weird to see them all here and then leaving and not playing soccer again.
I just want to give a shout out to Fafa Picault, who is a MLS Cup champion now, former Philadelphia Union player back in the day, and has won his first. Hey, it says it listed here in his honors. He has got an MLS Cup in the Eastern Conference.
That's important.
So there you go.
He also
won a soccer bowl in the NASL in 2012 for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And he won, of course, a Canadian championship with Vancouver last year, who he was with. So he was facing his old team, but he didn't actually get on the field, so he didn't really face them. But just, golf clap there for Fafa Picault, who is an MLS Cup champion now. That's when you're looking at these rosters on Miami, it's like mostly Argentine or Spanish or, seeing a long-term MLS player like Fafa Picault get an MLS Cup win is pretty fun. But yeah, there's not much of that. We do have I was going to say we did have maybe Rocco Rios Novo, though, who also was a standout in this game, also had played for Phoenix Rising and back in the day. back in the day being 2023 and 2024 when he was playing in the USL Championship, and he played and won a championship in 2023 with the Phoenix. So just a pretty cool story for that in American soccer. While we also look at the bigger scope of things with Miami and Messi and what star player they're going to bring in next, like Timo Werner. Pretty cool to take a focus on some of the guys that have been playing in American soccer for quite some time. So shout out to them. Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, that will wrap us up here on the Stateside Soccer Show. If you didn't catch it, we also released an episode that was about the World Cup draw. So you can check out that and get our thoughts on what groups are the group of death, what groups we think have it pretty good, what are the U.S. chances, all that good stuff over there. But thank you all for watching or listening along, and we'll catch you next time. Sometime we'll have an episode in this offseason talking about stuff, but
we'll see you around.